Alright guys, so we had a chance to quite film real quick, but yeah, so we kind of had to run to get to the crack show, which you just saw, of course. But now we're staying for the falconry show, actually getting to see that a little bit more.
Welcome, lords and ladies, to Her Majesty's Royal Birds of Prey and Falconry demonstration. I am Sir Robert Chesman. I'm Her Majesty's Royal Falconer. I'll be your host for this presentation. And I am here representing an organization we call Wildlife Revealed. We're a non-profit organization that travels all across the land with all of our different birds. We present them not only for your entertainment, but most importantly, for your education. The second item I do like to point out, we have several perches located around the back of the audience in addition to one on our stage. So please be advised that our birds frequent these locations. They are fully flighted and do not always take the most direct path. So it is our recommendation that you keep your eye on the birdie. That way we will all know the appropriate moments to duck. Now that we've said all this, are you ready to meet the birds?
Yeah.
I do have several birds for you. Of course, the first is right here on my hand, but I am wondering, do any of you know what this bird might be?
Kookaburra.
It is a kookaburra. You're absolutely right. It is known as an Australian laughing kookaburra, and her name is Sheila.
Cool.
That's funnier than you kids know. As a kookaburra, though, this is the largest of the kingfisher species. However, kookaburras are much different from the typical kingfisher. Normally, a kingfisher lives near water because they eat things like fish. Kookaburras, however, have adapted to a variety of environments by eating things like mice, snakes, lizards, large insects, anything they can grab with their beak or swallow down whole. However, it's not their eating habits that make them famous, it's their silly laughing call. So my idea is to see if I can get her to laugh, therefore get the attention of everyone down the lane. Maybe they'll come join us for the program. And also, kookaburras love noise and excitement. So if I can get her to start laughing, you can help encourage her through laughter, cheers, applause, or even doing your own kookaburra impression. So shall we give this a shot?
Yeah.
Here we go. You ready, girl?
She gets the last laugh.
Now that we got her started, she might not stop. Right there we go. As you can imagine, my neighbors love me. But you know, I think we can make this quite a bit more exciting. What do you say? Should we fly some birds?
Yeah.
I believe so. Go ahead and show off to Christy. Don't be surprised if you hear her halfway through the show. It's known as a Harris hawk. Harris hawks are very unique among raptors for an important reason. They're social in the wild. They live in family groups called cats and even hunt as a team. And it is my pleasure to introduce you to our Harris hawk, Tango. Come on up here, Tango.
Hi.
Welcome, Tango.
Woo! Very good.
Tango here, being a hawk, is a typical raptor. What that means is that he has physical features that make him quite a bit different from other predatory birds. Something else like the kookaburra, for example, use their beak to catch their prey. Raptors, though, will use their feet. On the end of his toes are claws called talons. It was very brave how you hid behind the child, sir. And so last weekend we had two ladies. All they did when the bird flew by is they covered their beard. So everyone has priority. I guess raptors will use their feet to catch their prey. On his toes are claws called talons. And a bird of this size, even though he only weighs about 1.5 pounds, he can capture something as large as an 8 or 9 pound jackrabbit for dinner. That's impressive considering his size. However, if he caught something that big, it would be far too heavy to fly away with, and certainly too large to swallow whole. So they have to be able to rip their food into bite-sized pieces. So you might notice his beak sort of hooked and curved downwards. And you might even say it's a good size. Everyone get a good look? It's an interactive program, by the way. But his beak is hooked and curved downward.
Oh my God.
And it allows him to
Incoming.
rip and tear his food very quick.
He really is.
Just a quick suggestion. As the bird flies overhead, you might not want to look up and say, wow. Your mouth open. Yeah, he's trained. He's not housebroken. I think I'm kidding. Just wait. But again, that beak allows him to eat quickly. He can rip his food into those bite-sized pieces, therefore consuming mass amounts of food before some other animal will steal it from him. Their most impressive trait, though, is probably their eyesight. For this bird can see at least 4 to 8 times better than you and I can. That means he could spot his prey from about a mile away. He could even tell what color it was, for raptors do see in color. In fact, we believe a wider range of color than you and I see, possibly even infrared and ultraviolet lights as well. All these traits let them do one thing incredibly well, that is hunt. And in the wild, a bird like this could hunt for prey as large as jackrabbits, to animals as small as mice and lizards.
Nice breeze.
But they are found in the desert, so it is not uncommon for them to catch rattlesnakes. That is impressive prey because you may only make a mistake once. Because they are so very good at hunting, falconers for more than 5,000 years have employed the services of raptors, such as hawks, falcons, even eagles to do that job. And you must remember this started long before the invention of items like the rifle. It was not only an efficient means of catching game, but a very sporting one as well. What are you doing on the ground? Noble down there like a chicken. The Tortugas perform on this stage later. I wouldn't eat anything on this stage. Again, all of these traits allow them to hunt so well, and that is the reason that falconers for more than 5,000 years have employed the services of raptors like hawks, falcons, even eagles to do that job. And you must remember that started... They must keep dropping food. Get up here. But again, the falconers have used the services of raptors for more than 5,000 years. And the most incredible part is that very little has changed in a 5,000-year time period. We still use the same training technique of positive reinforcement, or the act of giving the bird a food reward every time it does a behavior we desire. We also use the very same equipment. For example, the leather glove on my hand helps protect me from his powerful feet and sharp talons. And also you might notice the leather straps upon his ankles. They're known as jesses. They work sort of like a leash and collar on a dog, allowing us to gain control of our bird should we need to. Saw another leftover. All right, Tango. I'll tell you what, buddy. Why don't you come back down here? Right down here, Tango. Highly trained bird right there, folks. Right here, Tango. There he is. So, let me ask, what do you think of Tango? Isn't he? Now comes the important part, sending him home. Now, this bird has learned there's a large reward waiting inside the door for him, so sometimes he tries to go home early. We'll see if I can beat him to the door. All right, Tango, are you ready, buddy? Go home. Give him a hand from the first two, because the kookaburra and the hawk, those are day-active type of predators. We refer to those birds as being diurnal. There are a set of raptors, though, that are famous for coming out at night. We refer to those birds as being nocturnal. So, who comes out at night?
Owl.
Who? That was for my own entertainment, thank you. Yes, last weekend someone shouted teenagers, so... Owl is the answer I'm looking for. I do have an owl to share with everyone, and this is one of the largest species of owls on the planet. It's known as a Eurasian eagle owl. We call him Artemis. All right, Artemis, right here, buddy.
Hi, baby.
So welcome, Artemis. Owls, they have traits that make them quite a bit different from the day-active predators. You may already realize he has gigantic orange eyes. His eyes are about the same size as yours and mine, yet he can dilate them much more than we can dilate ours, meaning he can see as much as 100 times better than we can at night. We've seen owls like this hunting for prey as small as a mouse from a football field away, using only starlight to see by. However, if you can't see their prey, you can still find it with almost 100. Did any of you get that picture? Did you get that picture? You might have a picture of the last thing a mouse sees before it dies. If an owl can't see his prey, he can still find it with almost 100% accuracy. That's with their amazing hearing. You may notice that dark outline around the edge of his face. It's known as a facial distance. His kinds of sound-sensitive feathers that funnel sound into huge ear openings on the side of his head. His hearing is so powerful, he can find that same mouse under 2 feet of grass or snow and capture it without ever seeing it. They have another trait, though, the ability to sneak up on their prey. So listen as he flies to the back, especially when he flaps his wings. Wow. So what did you hear? Nothing. Owls are capable of almost perfectly silent flight. That's because the edge of their feathers are very soft. So when they flap their wings, there are no loud flapping noises, or when feathers rub together, there are no rubbing or friction sounds. Have you ever heard things like pigeons or doves take off? You know, that noise is from their feathers rubbing together, and they couldn't sneak up on much. But being able to fly quietly allows an owl to sneak up on a wide variety of prey, including animals that hear as well as they do, like mice and rats. So let me ask you, what do you think of Artemis? Isn't he impressive? He's right on today, so let's see if we can show off just a little bit. I'm wondering if he'll fly from the back perch all the way into his release door. So we'll send him back. And fair warning, you have to glide across the audience to get here. So give it a try. All right, Artemis, are you ready, buddy? Artemis, go home. Hup. Go home, buddy. Come over here. Is that great? Is that great eyesight and hearing? Look, go home, Artemis. See? You going up? There he goes. All the way home? Wait for it. There we go.
Vulture.
Vulture, you're right. I have a vulture to share with everyone. And this is the bird that's so famous for sometimes running up and down the aisles looking for leftover turkey legs. So if you had any snacks, just keep them hidden from sight. And she comes up close to you, she's not out to get anyone, just looking for an easy meal. It's my pleasure, though, to introduce everyone to our vulture, Ziggy. Come on out here, Ziggy.
Hi, Ziggy.
Come on out here, Ziggy.
Come on, Zig.
Right here. To the perch. There we are. Welcome, Ziggy, for me. She needs some encouragement today, apparently.
Hi, Ziggy. Bye, Ziggy.
Ziggy here is a black vulture. You notice the black body, the bald black head, and she has sort of white fingers. Tips on the end of her wings. Now, it is the job of a vulture to go into our environment, to find dead animals and to eat them. Now, I know that doesn't sound very pleasant, but that's where the nutrition is in the internal, in the internal organs of those dead animals. So they have eating habits that let them, or features that is, that lets them stay clean and healthy. For example, the bald head serves a very important purpose because oftentimes vultures might stick their entire head and neck deep inside a dead animal for the best pieces of meat. Everyone's had lunch, right? Again, that's not appetizing, but it's where the nutrition is in internal organs. So the bald head allows it to dry up and flake right off, and the sun's ultraviolet rays can kill bacteria that may be growing there. Not only this, but vultures have an amazing immune system. Back down here, Ziggy. They can ingest about 100 times the salmonella and botulism, or food poisoning that is, that could potentially kill the average adult human. And vulture droppings have very little bacteria in them. That means most of the disease that goes in one end doesn't always come out the other. So maybe now you understand the ways they stop the spread of dangerous disease. And also, a few other traits, like her beak. You see how it's long and skinny? She sticks it inside my hand to get to the food. Rewards. Duck or vulture? Ziggy, back up here. No, Ziggy. Get back up here. Get off the ground.
No.
Ziggy. Really?
Hi, baby.
Here, let's try this again. But her beak allows her to eat internal organs without getting as bit. Hey, where are you going? You don't get a treat for running back there. Come back up here. Ziggy. Back up here. Ziggy. Back up. Wings for a reason, birds. The beak does let her eat those internal organs without getting as messy. But her feet are different. Her claws are rather dull, and her feet are better made for walking. Her feet are so weak. Ziggy, back up here. All the way up here. Her feet are so weak, she can't even grip to pick up something as light as a feather. We assume, though, that vultures, they don't really need strength in their feet because their food doesn't run away from them very often. So people tend to look at a vulture and, duck, look at the vulture. Look alive, partner, look alive. I'm not really sure what that means. It sounds appropriate. People look at a vulture, they think with the walking feet and the weak beak that they can't defend themselves. It's not really true. If you corner a vulture and it can't run away or fly away, it probably wouldn't attack you. Wouldn't even try to bite you. Does anyone know what a vulture does to defend itself? They throw up on you, that's right. Can you imagine, though, what a vulture eats coming back the second time around? Not a pleasant thought. However, if it weren't for scavengers like vultures doing that job, disease and bacteria would be spread very easily. So in that case, what do you think of Ziggy? Isn't she? Do any of you know what the fastest animal on the planet is?
Cheetah.
Cheetah? This is a bird show. Well, I heard the answer I was looking for, the falcon, most specifically the peregrine falcon. Peregrine falcons have been clocked in dives in excess of 200 miles an hour, making the fastest animal on the planet. And you're in luck. I do have a falcon to fly for you here today. Now, this one is not a peregrine, but it is a very special little bird. I'd like you to meet Vegas, our Aplomado falcon. You can welcome Vegas. Vegas here, by the way, is only about 6 months old. She was born this past spring. Now, she is full grown. Most flighted birds are full grown by the time they leave the nest. However, she is still learning to fly for us. As a matter of fact, we've only had her free flying for a little bit under 3 months so far. Now, what I want to attempt for everyone is what we call lure flying. It's basically a game of keep away that the falcon always eventually wins. So you have here in my hand we call a lure. It's a fake leather bird. It has a There we are. Now, for starters, you notice the falcon's wings are different. They're long, narrow, pointed, and sort of swept back. The swept back pointed wings allow for less drag, almost, or less air friction, so they don't slow down nearly as much when they dive. If you've ever wondered why